Coach Lisa again with another LK No Nonsense reality check, and I'm so glad you came back. You know what? I just realized that in the last segment, I was supposed to give you 2 difficult behaviors. I only gave you 1, the complainer. So this week, I'm going to give you the second one. And remember we talked about, difficult behaviors and how we have to learn how to respond as opposed to reacting because, they're not going anywhere. I know you'd throw the office party. I know you'd have a wonderful time if they left. But again, they are not going anywhere. So you're going to have to learn how to respond and manage your own behavior so that they don't take you out there and you just like go off all the time. So here's the one I want to talk about today, and it's a real interesting one. And this one can be very subtle. And so you got to know what you're really looking at and dealing with. And it's called the passive aggressive behavior. Oh yeah, this one I know up close and personal, and it can just frustrate you to the nth degree. So let me give you some little things about it. I put some little information here on my netbook, and I want to read some of it to you. And we talk about it in the difficult people class. So passive aggressive, how do you know it? How can you identify it? Well, one of the main things is these are people, they come across really great, really nice, all right, on board with you, but all it takes is a trigger and something happens. And then all of a sudden, they can appear to be all in agreement with you, but behind the scenes, they are sabotaging everything you do. And you don't know what happened. And they're like, oh my gosh, Lisa, I don't know what happened, when they were the key culprit in it. Here's another one. They come across really positive in front of you. Oh, but when you leave the room, they will undermine everything you said. Every idea you had, they will say something like, that was the craziest idea I ever heard. I don't know what's wrong with her or him. Here's another one. They'll tell you, and see, when they do this to me, especially when I've picked up those other 2, when they say, oh, you can trust me, but their actions and their behavior speak something entirely different, be aware and be on guard. Here's another one. And then when you challenge them, they'll hit you back with like sarcasm and these jokes that are intended to like disarm you. And they'll say, come on, I was just kidding. Can't you get over it? But they'll do that stuff in front of people to try to undermine you. It's all called sabotage. Sabotage. Here's another one. And this is the one that really gets me. They will use delaying and stalling tactics to hold up something, especially when they know it's important to you. And then at the last minute, when you ask them about it, they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't have enough time. I'm so sorry. And then they'll throw this on you. I really didn't mean to let you down. But then when you really push them, well, the timeline wasn't realistic. They will go through all of that. They'll use blaming. They'll use fault finding. They'll demean everything. They'll do everything to defend their position. Can you feel me on that? I'm telling you, this particular behavior can be really tough. You have to manage your behavior, manage your actions, respond. And the first thing is, don't let the anger take you there. That's what feeds them doing it. That's where they feel like they got over on you. And here's another one. Talk yourself down. Be in control and don't let them manipulate you. Remember, don't let other people dictate your behavior. So now, how do you manage this behavior? And manage is not just a manager's position, but how do you work with it? Well, the first thing, when you're talking to this person, have the facts to support what you're saying. Don't go with what you think and what you believe. Have the facts, all right? And don't let them take you on rabbit trails. So be prepared for them to stall you or deflect or take you other places. Don't go there with them. This is not anybody else's issue but them, and bring them back to it. And here's the last thing, but this is the biggest one. When you have a person that's like in full-blown passive-aggressive mode, listen to me really good. You make sure you have somebody else in that room in that conversation, because too often things get turned around and they come out looking like the victim and you look like the bad person. All right, so I'm done with that today. Go deal with that passive-aggressive behavior, all right? And I'll see you next week on another LK No Nonsense reality check. Have a no-nonsense day.